In this video, we will talk about exponential growth and decay. We're also going to attempt some real examples about the same subject, and we will be analyzing the nuclear disaster in Chernobyl. First, we will show some graph, we will also tell what happened, and at the end, we will get into a conclusion.
The reference point is located at 0,1. The domain is all real numbers. Its range is 0 to infinity. Its asymptote is located at y equals 0, and from left to right is considered to be increasing. This graph can be expressed as f of x equals b to the power of x, where b is greater than 0 and cannot be equal to 1.
In 1986, there was an accident at the Chernobyl nuclear power plant in Ukraine. It was a result of a defective reactor design which was used by not well-trained staff. It is classified as the worst nuclear power accident. The steam explosion and fires released large quantities of radioactive contamination into the atmosphere, which spread across western USSR and Europe. The cities with more contamination had to be evacuated immediately. 2 workers died instantly, and later more than 400 people died as a result of acute radiation poisoning. One of the consequences of this incident was the increase of risk of getting leukemia and cataract among people who got more radiation. It still affects our world to this day.
Some other real situation about exponential growth. One can be when they sold to Microsoft 1.5 years, Hotmail have 12 million users. You can see here in orange where values are increasing per month, just like an exponential growth model. Also, another example can be the number of Ebola cases in Africa every 29 days. We have the numbers of cases and the days pass. We can see that values are increasing every month, causing it also to increase the number of cases, just like a graph of exponential growth.
Exponential growth is a model for growth of a quantity for which the rate of growth is directly proportional to the amount present. Its main characteristics is that it's a one-to-one function. It has a horizontal asymptote of y equals 0. Domain all real numbers, range 0 to positive infinite. X-intercept none, y-intercept 0,1. Increasing if b is greater than 1b and 1b greater than 1. Decreasing if b is less than 1. Exponential decay is a process of reducing an amount by consistent percentage rate over a period of time. Some implications of using nuclear energy are the different problems it has, such as radioactive waste that hasn't been solved and is extremely dangerous for humans.
We don't believe that nuclear energy is a clean kind of energy because it has radioactive waste in it, and if it's released in the air, it may cause harm to the living things around it. We were not aware that there's a nuclear plant here in Mexico, but after we investigated, we found out that it's in Laguna Verde in Veracruz. We think it's safe because it has been checked several times and it has followed the rules, regulations, and the policies, so it doesn't cause harm. We agree with the fact that there's a nuclear plant in Mexico, but we kind of don't. We agree because 4% of the energy comes from that nuclear plant, and it's an innovative and creative way of creating new energy, but we don't agree because it damages a lot of land around it, and it's not good for the country and for its people.
The way to prevent the Chernobyl disaster will be to have prepared and trained workers to front these kind of situations, and also take a better supervision measurements. Once an explosion happened, I don't think there was a real way so people can prevent radiation because it spread rapidly throughout the atmosphere, and also people didn't know how to react. The disaster happened in Ukraine, so it's not really close to Mexico, and so it wouldn't be so possible that the disaster could affect Mexico. Also, Mexico is not inside the range of the radioactive pollution that it created. Some of the environmental consequences of the Chernobyl disaster were that nations near Ukraine were contaminated by the radiation. Also, that radiation made cancer spread faster. Like livestock and food from farms inside the radiation rains were contaminated and people didn't have any food. Also, there that was contaminated, and it was more possible to breathe, causing air pollution among countries nearby. When talking about the environmental consequences, the main one are that a lot of people die, also animals and vegetation around the area, and radiation also affects a lot the atmosphere.
We felt sad about these consequences because it's so unfair that innocent people just die because of bad communication and bad prevention ways about these nuclear disasters. We think that a good solution for this situation can be to take out all the nuclear reactors and the weapons for take out the risk about having nuclear disaster and prevent the radiation in the air. And if they tend to exist, empower the people to know how to act and what to do when a disaster can come. We think that working like this at the beginning was complicated because by the fact that we need to contact us, but at the end we were able to organize well and have a good job. We also think this way of working it's cool because we know other people. We also know how they work and how they think. So we like it. First, we use Google Document. With this, we gather all the information. Our second way of communication was via WhatsApp group. With this, we divide all the work.